In this video, I'm going to give you the most underrated business advice that you will not be able to learn in a college course from reading a book. And frankly, most people online will not tell you because it's not sexy. But to be frank, if you can learn these lessons now before you have to learn them the hard way, you will be much better off. And some of these lessons, if you don't learn them, can actually wipe you out as a business owner altogether. Now, number one, and this is one of the most important, underrated things that nobody talks about, is sequence is everything. Now, there's so much advice on social media. Start this business, invest in this asset. This is what you should do for marketing, social media ads. That's all great. And it's all probably right. But if you do it at the wrong time, it will not work. So the right move at the wrong time is just as catastrophic as making the wrong move altogether. Now, in terms of what this could look like for your business, maybe it's trying to scale too soon. Your business is growing. Okay, I'm going to go open a second location. You do it too early before you have the knowledge, before you have the experience, before you have the proper CAC. And then because of that, it wipes you out. Maybe it's hiring too many employees too fast, wrong time. Maybe it's trying to start a business and you go into the most complicated, toughest businesses to run before you have the knowledge and before you have the prerequisites of experience to be able to do that successfully. Or maybe it's even just as simple as trying to quit your job, but you didn't build up enough skills, you didn't build up enough knowledge, connections, capital to be able to last. And then guess what? Now you have to go back to your job and you're never going to take that jump again. So oftentimes, most people will fail not because they make bad moves, but because they make them at the wrong time. So oftentimes people get in the mindset of, okay, that's smart. I should do that. You should do this. But when should I do it? That is one of the most underrated questions that most people don't ask themselves. Is now the right time? So really try to understand yourself, understand your long-term vision, understand what's going to be needed. Where could you fail? And is this, and am I in the right position to do this now? Maybe I need to wait. Maybe I should have done it 3 months ago, but the time is not right, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Now, obviously you can get into a position where you keep waiting and waiting and waiting. But again, one of the most important principles in business is stay in the game. If you get wiped out, you effectively lose the game. So sometimes some things aren't worth the taking the risk. Sometimes they are, but it's all about knowing when to do each move. So you can apply this to your own life. There's a million different situations you can use this, but all the advice that you're probably getting and things that you'll see on social media is good advice, but is it the right time to do it? And that's something you need to constantly be asking yourself. Number two is skill stacking, which this really goes into point number one of, is this the right time? Sometimes you need to stack your skills to then take a jump. So for me, what this looked like was, okay, my first skill was being a trainer. That's what I knew. That's all I knew getting out of high school, dropped out. Okay, I'm going to build this business. All I know is training. So my first skill was understanding, and I want to stay very specific. I want to learn training. How do I train? How do I teach? How do I coach? Now I need to learn how to run a business. Then from there, I was like, okay, I need to understand capital. I need to understand business in general to then take that next leap to be a gym owner. So now I have more control over the process. Now I need to understand how to manage people because I want to hire people. So now I'm learning a new skill set. Now I need to learn how to manage multiple different locations. So every time I'm going up, I'm learning more skills and I'm stacking that value. Now, if you want to continue to make more money in the marketplace, you need to stack more value. A lot of people just think I need to do more. Sometimes you need to know something completely different that you don't know. So if you can stack skills on top of each other, and ideally you want to figure out what skill would complement your already existing skill set. So maybe naturally you're really good at talking to people. So maybe content could be something that's really beneficial for you. Or maybe it's being a speaker. Maybe it's whatever it is that you want to do that complements your skill set. What is the next skill up the line that can provide more value to the marketplace that I should learn? So maybe you go from being a really good communicator naturally to understanding social media to then creating content. Okay, now I need to understand business. Okay, let's see how I can monetize this. Now I have a business. Now I need to learn how to manage people. Now I want to start understanding business, know how people work, all of that kind of stuff. And then you just keep going up the ladder, and that's how you become bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can sustain it because you have the knowledge. The thing is, a lot of people won't skill stack. They'll have one very specific skill, maybe two, but they won't try to learn anything else. They'll say, okay, I know everything that I need, and they'll keep trying to expand without that base of knowledge for all of those different areas. So again, it's kind of a house of cards where you're starting to build, but you don't have a strong base and you don't have a strong skill stack to really work off. So try to be cognizant of what skills you have, what skills you're building, and what is the next one in line that will be the most valuable. Again, it goes back into sequence. Maybe you're, say for example, for me, right? I'm really good at training. Now my next skill that I try to learn is trying to learn, how to sell a business. Probably not a good skill to learn because there's a lot of things in between. So you want to make sure you're learning the right thing at the right time for the right reasons and stacking those skills appropriately. If you do that, that's going to speed up your career, speed up the value that you can provide the marketplace, and obviously increase the amount of money that you can make. Number three, and this is something most people don't like to hear, is not all advice is created equal. A lot of people will give you advice. Should you weigh each piece of advice equally? No. Who that advice is coming from is just as important as the advice in general. Again, kind of same thing with sequence. You can make the right move at the wrong time. You can take the right advice from the wrong person, and it's not going to apply to you, and it's not going to be beneficial. I believe it's Socrates or Aristotle as well talks about this, that not all critic is a good critic. Now, if you're trying to say sell your their business and you're like, okay, let me get some advice on this topic. Who is going to be a better person to get advice from? Your friend Jimmy, who's never started a business, who has a 9-to-5, who's kind of jealous that you have a business, or say a mentor who has a business. You should probably take their advice more seriously than theirs. And it's not to say that you don't listen to them, but you're going to weigh it differently. So you want to make sure that you're trying to seek out good advice from people that advice actually has value, and you're not just listening to the people that are closest to you. Oftentimes people are going to listen to people that are in their proximity, or they'll just listen to people that they do not know, who don't know them and their goals. So the most important thing is everyone's going to have biases. Your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister are going to have biases. Okay, I want to keep them safe. I don't want to take crazy risks. And then people that don't know you are also going to have biases. Maybe they just hated their business. So like, yeah, sell your business, get rid of it. It's a waste of time. But you have to understand their bias. You have to understand where they're coming from, what knowledge do they have, what lived experience do they have, and then weigh all of that advice accordingly. And oftentimes your quality of life is going to come down to the quality of the advice that you get and the quality of advice that you actually take. So be really careful who you take advice from. Do they actually understand you? Do they understand your goals? Do they have that lived experience? What biases do they have? Weigh all of that experience and be able to make your own judgment, because at the end of the day, it's your decision. Oftentimes people, again, oh, I took this person's advice, it was bad advice, I shouldn't have listened to them. It's your life. You need to take everything as a data point and make your own decision and be able to live with it, because it is your life, it is your results. Nobody else truly cares because their life is not on the line. Number 4, which is another very important piece of advice, is know yourself. And one of the most important reasons to do this is so you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know your tendencies, you know the traps that you fall into in business. And when you can do this, you can optimize your life around this. And John D. Rockefeller was famous for saying, most people overestimate what they lack and underestimate what they have. And the best business people, best business owners, they go all in on their strengths. They know, I'm really good at this. I'm going to go all in on that. I'm going to do as much of this as I possibly can. The things that I'm not good at, I'm either just not going to do them, or I'm going to hire somebody else to do them. They can understand what times of day do I work best? What type of people do I work best with? They can understand certain things and habits that they have where, okay, if I get into this habit, if I get into this environment, it's gonna throw me off. I'm gonna lose focus. I'm gonna get into bad habits. So I'm gonna stay away from that. If I eat this food, if I eat at these times, I'm gonna perform at my absolute best. The best business owners know themselves from this point of view and know how to optimize their life and how to optimize the things that they're not good at to get the best return. Now, in terms of the traps that you can fall into, this is something that I try to be very cognizant of myself. Maybe it's you love novelties. You always have to be doing something interesting. Maybe you're someone who always loves to learn. Maybe you're someone who never likes to learn, so you only like to do, so you never get the knowledge that you need to. You kind of always get into traps. Or maybe you always like to overextend yourself, or maybe you have a propensity to not take risks. So, okay, I need to catch myself. Yeah, this is a point where I'm really hesitating. I should take this risk. I have the tendency not to. So, okay, I need to maybe overcompensate, push through. You need to know where your mindset is. You need to know yourself and your habits so you can catch yourself. The best and the smartest people understand their own thinking. They can think about their thinking. They can say, okay, I'm thinking this, but I know I'm thinking this because of X, Y, and Z. I know it's probably wrong. So, okay, I can look at it from a different angle. When you can do that, you can make good decisions. You can notice good patterns. And then again, like we were talking about before with the advice, is now you can take that advice better and you can utilize it better because you know yourself and you know your patterns, your propensities, and all of that kind of stuff. So everyone has those strengths, those weaknesses, those unfair advantages, and the best people know how to use all 3 of those in their favor. Number 5 is business can get very overcomplicated. It's very easy. Most people do it. They overcomplicate things. But one of the best mindsets to take is to simplify everything. Business in its simplicity is just constraints. At all times, there is something that is holding you back from getting to the next level. Essentially, just a constraint. So identify that constraint, and then that's when you can focus all of your time and energy on that to break through, and then you'll find the next thing. Now, there's a couple different ways that this may look. It can be from a personal standpoint where either you're trying to grow a business, I don't have the skill set, I don't have the knowledge or the mindset to do it, or I just haven't had the time or the consistency to grow my business. So when you look at it through that lens, okay, can't grow my business, I'm not getting enough clients, or I can't scale. Is it a knowledge issue? Is it a skill issue? Do I just need to stick with it longer? Am I not doing it consistently? Or is it something else? When you can identify which one of those it is, then you know where to focus your time, and then you're gonna be much more productive. You can fix that. Okay, now you break through, now there's gonna be another one. But also in terms of the business, again, it's very easy to overcomplicate. Okay, how can I grow my business? How can I make more money? What is it that's holding me back? It's either you don't have enough clients for the most part, or you don't have enough space, maybe you don't have enough cash. There's a constraint. There is something that is holding you back. Maybe it's a little bit of everything. Like maybe you don't have enough cash, so then you can't get enough space, and because of that, you're not able to hire people. So it's like, okay, there could be one constraint, that leads into other constraints, but you need to identify the main constraint. If I don't have enough clients, I need to do more marketing, I need to do more posts, I need to do more outreach, I need to learn ads. That goes back to the knowledge issue. Maybe I just don't have enough space. Why don't I have enough space? Is it because I just don't have enough cash? Is it because I don't have the knowledge to scale and to get another space? So being able to break business down like this in the simplest aspect possible is one of the best things you can do, because again, it's very easy to overcomplicate things. You get in the weeds of everything. You're very caught in the, the finite details of it, but sometimes you just need to zoom out, look down from above and figure out, okay, which of these problems is it that's holding me back? Identify it, let's fix it, break it down, double click on it. Okay, zoom out. Okay, it's this, this, and this, fix it, go. And when you can do this, you can refocus your energy where you need to and fix the problems that you need to continue to keep growing your business. So at the end of the day, these are 5 pieces of advice that I think if you can apply them and have them in your pocket are going to lead to much better results. You're gonna have better decision making. You're gonna be able to simplify problems. You're gonna be able to take advice more appropriately. You're gonna be able to understand yourself more so you can get more out of yourself and be more productive. And you're also going to do all of these things in the right order. Now, if you can do all 5 of these, I guarantee it's going to help you. If you guys like this video, you guys want something similar, you just liked it, give me your favorite point down below in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next video soon. Peace.